You won't want to miss a second of the action. Make sure that you come into the stadium about 5 minutes in advance so you're ready to go. You have your SFuels right by your side because it is going to be hot in there. And we look forward to seeing you in the stadium.
Good morning, athletes, and welcome to the SFuels Stadium Sunrise Session. Please join me in welcoming our host for this morning's session, Leighton Phillips.
Well, hey, good morning, athletes. It's pretty wintry, cold morning here in North Carolina on the East Coast. Getting close to that zero, as we'd say in Australia. I think it's 41 Fahrenheit. But we're going to warm up soon. Thanks for joining us in the SFuels Sunrise Session here in the stadium. And if you haven't been here before, we'll walk you through getting yourself set up. It's all pretty simple here, but thanks for joining. Hope you're warming up on your bikes. Bike session today, it's going to be pretty hot. Certainly a high-intensity session. I know a number of you have done this session before, and with courtesy from Mr. Plews. And if you're also in Zwift, that's great. We'll make sure that we try to surface you during the session today and see how you're performing. VO2Max session, and we'll walk through the details of that in a second. Some awesome results on the weekend. I want to tell you about some of those and some of the SFuels athletes and some of the performances that are getting popped out. And great to show you our iPhone app that we'll start using this Saturday in our first run session that you can do either outside or inside, and we'll talk more about that soon. And yesterday we launched a Monday Mindshare blog, and I'll show you a little bit about that. It's getting a lot of attention out on the web. Well, hey, I think we're good to get moving. I do want to introduce streaming live from Manila in Philippines is Raymond Ordoveza. How you doing there, buddy?
Doing good. A little warmer here in the Philippines.
Well, yeah, it's always warm in the Philippines. I've never known it to be cold there. Yeah, well, you've had some pretty rough weather there, so our thoughts have been with you, buddy. So it's great to have you this morning with us. Yeah. And I think we're trying something new here, folks. Raymond's actually beaming in live on a iPhone wireless WAN stream rather than a Wi-Fi stream. So we're going to see how that runs this morning. Looks good right now.
Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're getting a bit of training in, even though your weather's been fairly average. You're getting a bit of training in for some racing?
Yeah, pretty lucky. I have a good home set up here. So right. I got my trainer, I got a treadmill, and we have a pool next door, but it's only 15 meters.
Oh, cool.
So about 18, maybe.
You just got to get good at tumble turns, huh?
Yeah. Or just don't do them at all, because you could be doing so many.
Well, hey, folks, if you are new to the stadium, in the center of the screen there, just to quickly orient you, as we get into the session, you'll see there's a interval timer pop up. When we're doing bike sessions like today, it's a bike timer, and then when we do run sessions, it's like a run stopwatch. You'll also see a couple of screens, like the one that Raymond's on now. There'll be another one that comes up during the show, which is where we surface Zwift also. And it's as simple as that. It's really not that complex, but we will guide you through this with music also as we get moving today. I do want to show you, though, a little bit of detail about the session itself. So we'll get into a warm-up in a second. We'll have a minute countdown. But then it's 30 by 30, so 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. We're going to run this up at 130% FTP during the interval session itself. And we'll do 6 of those reps. We'll then have a 4-minute rest cycle, and then we'll do it again, and we'll do those 6 times. So it's pretty intense, and your heart rate's probably going to stay up pretty high during the whole rep set. And obviously in that 4-minute period it'll come back off. So just to give you a sense of that, let me see here. If I show you this is to give you a context. So let's say your FTP is 200. Your 130% would be somewhere around 240. So if you're 300, you'd be around 360. So that gives you some context here. So nice guidance here from the Blues in terms of how your voice should be. Severe effort with conversation impossible. So there you go.
I like that.
Yeah. Hey, so I know you've done this a few times, Raymond. Any guidance for the folks who haven't jumped into this session yet on how they should approach it?
Yeah, there's probably 2 ways you can do it. If you're on Zwift or your trainer has erg, you can actually set up a workout so you have no choice but to do the target.
Right.
The other way to do it is you can kind of go by feel.
Yeah.
Control the resistance yourself.
Right.
When we're approaching the interval, just load up a bunch of resistance, get your legs heavy, and see what you can push for 30 seconds. But you have to be a little bit more cautious when you're doing that, just because you want to be able to recover. A recovery is only 30 seconds. That's not a lot.
Yeah. Well, hey, folks, suggest you build into this one. It will be high intensity, to say the least. I'm going to set the timer countdown now, and we're probably, you'll see it come up here. Here it is now. So we're about 55 seconds before we get started. And if you just want to start warming up there, and we're going to jump straight into this pretty soon. And I'll be with you now. I'll bring the music.
It's a go. Whatever I say, 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 whatever I say, it's a go.
What's that, buddy? Sorry, I thought you said something. Yeah, so folks, I'll be bringing the music up and down. I'll probably leave it up fairly high during the whole set, and then I'll bring it down during the rest sessions unless I'm trying to say something during the session. We're about 10 seconds to go, folks, and we'll get into the first 6 by 30. All right, here it is, folks. Let's ramp it up. 130% FTP. Okay, you can bring that down. You'll see the rest note comes up on the screen here for you. 30 seconds off. So folks, you're going to see me looking down at times. I'm just actually on the Zwift Companion app, and we'll start trying to surface some of our folks that have joined us this morning. I know we've got a bunch of SFuels athletes on, so let's see if we can bring some of them up and bring them into the show. I hope you're in Watopia. Okay, 3 and 2 and 1. Let's bring that up. Hey Tony, bud, good to see you out there in Zwift and join us in the stadium this morning. Great to have you, bud. Hey Jan Gramman, good to have you all the way from Singapore, buddy. Thanks for joining in this morning. Your afternoon, no doubt. Good to see you. Okay, back to a rest there, folks. That's 2 down. All right, back into rep number 3. Dan Wilson, good morning, bud. Good to have you with us. All right, back into the fourth rep, folks. Just surfacing some more athletes here. Okay, bring that back to a rest. We got Paul Scottford in the house again this morning. How you doing there, buddy? I hope it's good down in Florida. Getting ready for that relay of yours coming up. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Melissa, thanks for joining us this morning. Good to have you. We got a good turnout this morning, folks. And we're resting now and getting into the pointy end of this first set. Nice wattage there, Raymond. You're getting a bit of a sweat up there. That's good to see. Got the air conditioner and the fan primed up there in the Philippines.
Just air conditioning right now. The fan was muffling up the sound, but it's all good. I'm right in front of the AC, so.
Cool.
All right, here we go. Next
this
one.
is the final one, right? Let's put it in, folks. Number 6. All right, folks, you can bring that back to a rest, and we're gonna have 30 seconds and a full rest session. Oh, there's your nice, cool little dog there behind you. He's coming into the stadium this morning. We got to get a little treadmill for him.
He's gonna lie down, take a nap during the workout. Usually, what he does.
Hey folks, as I said, there's some awesome racing over the weekend. I'm going to show you some of the ultra results, and also we had a few folks Everesting on Zwift, so that was just really cool to see, and I'll bring that up in a second. And well, we got Daytona coming up. I know a few of the SFuels athletes are lining up for that race, and the money is on the line for Daytona for sure. And I've been watching a few of the podcasts and video casts of some of the pros. They're all lining up. There's probably a line of a dozen pros that could win that race, and it's going to be tight, of course, on that circuit. So fascinating to see. So hey, Raymond, I know you're part of the day job is spin instructor. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So. I quit my corporate job maybe in 2013, and sometime after that, I was actually invited to become a spin instructor in a new studio that was opening here in the Philippines. They knew my background as a triathlete, but I actually had zero experience getting up in front of a room, at least not to teach a spin class. So right now, doing this feels pretty natural to me. It's just here in the Philippines, we're not the gyms aren't open yet. None of the studios are open yet, so. It's fun just to be in front of people working out again. So I hope everyone's getting a good workout in.
Sure, you look pretty comfortable doing it there, bud. See, obviously, how many? Do you know how many sessions you've done since 2014, 2013?
2013, a few hundred. A few hundred, maybe. I've been doing 3 to 5 sessions every week for the last few years.
Wow. Well, that's cool. Well, you're getting fit, so.
But it's good. Maybe we'll give it a try here. Try to get some people to eke out a few 500 watts
Well, yeah, I got the bell, folks. So if you're new to the stadium, you'll see that every so often I bring up the cowbell, but it's going to require you to poke a little 500 watts every now and then. So I'll call you out, and when you hear me giving you the poke on that, I want to see if you can churn out a 500 watts for us, and then we'll get the cowbell ringing, and we'll have a bit of fun with that. So I know this season was a little flat, obviously. Raymond, did you get any racing in down in the Philippines, or there was really nothing to choose from?
Here in the Philippines, we had one race in January, a couple of shorter races in February, and from March onwards, we've been in lockdown.
Nothing.
March until now. Pretty long one.
Yeah.
Lots of virtual racing, lots of virtual workouts.
Right. No, I agree. It's nothing like getting out there. We a couple of weekends, of course, the Florida race. It was great to see a bunch of athletes lining up on a real starting line. It does feel like it's coming back. I think like the racing organizers are working out how to execute these races and still be compliant as best they can to the guidelines for COVID. So it's good to see. But been a tough year,
watching all
right?
the coverage from YouTube.
What's that?
I'll be watching all the coverage on YouTube and with all the people racing in spirit.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get back out there.
For sure. Well, hey, folks, we're about 30 seconds away from getting moving on our second set. And great to see you all tuning in there. And I'll surface a number of you in a second as we get back into the second set. And as you just heard me say, if you hear me calling out, see if you can poke out a 500, see if you can shoot for it, and we'll ring the bell. All right, folks, here it is. Let's bring it up. This is rep number 1 of set number 2.
When the road ahead begins to fade, we try to keep our heads above the wave. You make it feel so simple.
Maybe you want to show us how it's done, Roman. You think you've got a 500 there?
Every time we disconnect, I find another part of you left. Until we can intersect.
The rest period saved you, huh?
Yeah. Good thing we got this one.
No problem.
You said this is a quality over quantity session.
Yeah.
You think people should be skipping intervals if they have to?
You just got to warm up into this. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it up, folks. When you're ready, Raymond. Here it comes, folks. It's getting close now. All right, there it is, folks. We'll ring the bell. First 500 of the morning. Thanks, buddy, for poking that out. You go and find someone else. Okay, here's the rest, folks. See who's up here. All right, here we go into third rep, folks. Okay, we got Tony Convalin on screen, and we'll keep him on screen for a little while. Nice wattage there churned out, Tony. Tony's been with us for several years, probably 3 or 4 years, right from the beginning. So it's just great to have Tony in the stadium this morning. He's actually been away from his home, and he just hasn't been able to catch the timing. But great to have you out, buddy, for today, and hopefully we can see more of you in the stadium. I don't know if you're back in your hometown, but Cool to have you, bud. Okay, we're 3 seconds, folks. I think we're getting into rep number 4. Let's bring it back up. Tony, if you feel up to a 500, let us know. I'll bring up the bell.
You got this one, Tony. Come on.
We'll see. Okay, folks, we can bring that back. Okay, we're on board with Jan Grammen in Singapore. I hope the weather's good for you there, Jan. And he's been joining some of the webcasts with us with Dave Scott recently in Singapore. Hey folks, we got to bring it up again. Here's rep number 5. If you got a 500 for us, Jan, let us know.
Alright, here it goes.
Here we go. There you go. Here's the bell. Welcome to the 500 Club, bud. You're in the club. Thanks for joining in.
Good to see someone from same time zone.
Yeah, we got a few folks. I know I got Raul Ramos in your backyard there in Philippines also joining us this morning.
Yeah, he's just down the highway from me. We doing number 6?
Back into a rest. What's that, bud?
Number 6 is coming up.
Yeah. Let me see if I can bring Raul up here. Yeah, here he is. All right, folks, we got, we're on it now, actually. Rep number 6, final rep of set number 2. Bring that music up. Welcome to the stadium, Raul. Do you want to bring up some wattage there and see if you can poke out a 500 for us? Nice.
Lots, Raul. Good luck. Perfect weight. 6.
Okay, good work. It's a good one to do your 500 on 6 because you got a full 4.5 minutes to rest till the next
Catch your breath.
Well, hey, let's run this video quick.
Start your endurance training and racing free of carbs and sugars. And switch on simultaneous fat and carb burning. Check out the science at SFuels. QR code below.
That's right, folks. You're going to hear us talk a lot about that over these stadium sessions of that first 30 minutes. Keep away from the carbs so you can open up both the channels for carbs and fat to oxidize at the same time, particularly if you're doing a dual session in the one day. Keep off that carbs in that first 30 to 60 minutes, and then after that, it's no problem. And use the Train product at this period in the session. There's a QR code if you want to get into the science, and we'll make sure that you can get hold of that in the show notes. But back on with the session. So we are at 3 minutes to go on the rest session, and we'll get back into it in a second. What about next year, Raymond? What's the Philippines racing circuit like? How many, like, I know you have a full Ironman. You also have a 70.3?
We have a full Ironman that they do every 2 years. And we have 70.3s in Cebu, south of Manila, in Subic, which is north of Manila. And they do that simultaneously with a full.
Okay.
And then we have another one further down south in Davao.
Okay. Wow.
And we also got a few 5150s Olympic distances around, so
right.
No shortage of racing. It's just that
that's
we
great.
didn't get very lucky this year.
Cebu is such a nice place, so it'd be a great place to do it, I'd imagine. Pretty flat too, the bike, and nice warm water. Hot run, I'd say.
It's a really hot run. It's a 5 kilometer loop, and at the end of the loop, you go on to this development, which is there's zero coverage. There's no trees. barely
Wow.
any cloud cover, and it's just like fun.
Yeah. When was the last 70.3 or Ironman that you got to do?
I got to do 270.3s last year,
Okay.
and I was signed up for the full, which was supposed to happen this year.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get to do it next year.
Right. What time did you do in the 70.3s?
70.3s, 511, 516.
Wow.
But you have
that's
to
good
take
going.
note that those were done in 40-degree field
I
weather.
was gonna say,
So-
in the heat, that's a great time. That's awesome. Cool, bud.
In
And then
the
what are you
heat,
thinking next year if some of these start up again? Which races are you thinking?
Everything that I was signed up for this year that got rolled over to next year. That's what I'm doing.
Any
I'm
race that's
signed up
there,
for-
you gotta do it.
Yeah, anything that I can do, I will.
Yeah. Hey folks, we got a minute to go, and during this set, I'm gonna surface. The timer will still be going there, but I will surface some of the racing results and talk a little bit about the racing results. So I'll let you guide yourself into each of the intervals as we go in and out of the 30 seconds, and I'll just give you a bit of run through on some of the, just a couple of the running and the Everesting results. We're about 30 seconds away, folks, and we'll get into the next set. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring that back
All right,
up,
wrapping
folks.
up.
Bring up Dan Wilson here. He's on screen now. It's nice going, Dan. Good work. Whoa, look at that. That's what we like to see. I got to bring you into the 500 club. Nice going there, buddy. Good work. Doing 500 in the rest period. I can't wait to see what you're going to do in the interval session.
Dan, you got 10 more seconds, then we're going again.
Get your breath back. All right. As I said, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the racing in a second, but I'll let the interval timers. We're into the second one here. Just watch the clock, folks, and I'll show you some of this. So yeah, last it's actually the weekend before, Michelle Hearn recently started working with us at SFuels, and she was close actually a few years back on actually qualifying for the Olympic trials and marathon. And I think she ran 2:54 at the time, but just a week and a half ago, she ran 44 miles in 6 hours in one of the ultra races here in the US, and it's the best performance in 2020 for 6 hours. And she came in top of the podium in that ultra, so she is pretty emotionally excited after that. She's got quite a story to tell, but she's strongly low carb, high fat. She actually runs a really cool podcast. If you ever get the chance to see it, if you look at her podcast of Run the Meat, I think it's called, and you can check it out. But she actually just did a podcast this last week on, it's called Forged by Fat, and she talks a lot about her race and using SFuels products, training for that, and the Race Plus product during the race. And yeah, she's just super excited to finally get back into her performance, and she had a year and a bit where she wasn't performing so well, but she's back into it. Awesome to see. And great to have her top of the podium. Let me see who else I've got here to share with you. I know he's not with us this morning. He has been coming many times with us. Let me see if I can surface here. Here it is. So Lee Glassman, I don't know how many times he's been on the Alpe d'Huez since you could get onto it, but he did the full summit on the weekend, 130 miles, 29,000 feet of climbing. Awesome effort, just amazing result from Lee, and as I said, he's been with us in the stadium so many times, but certainly good performance as he went after the summit on the Zwift, and I'm sure he'll be back with us next week and back into the stadium. Well, hey folks, we've only got a few seconds left before we ramp back into it, and I'll bring the music back up and we'll get into it. I think this is, let me see here, rep number 5. There you go.
We'll never change, never change. Love knows no distance. We'll never change, never change. It will never change.
I think we might be having more broadband problems here than you are, Ray. It's a little bit slow on the uptake sometimes. Okay, we got.
I'm running this whole thing from my phone.
What's that?
I'm running this whole thing from my phone.
That's awesome. It's a really good result.
It's not bad. All right, number 6.
There we go.
Set number 3.
Okay, we got to jump on board with Paul Scottfield this morning. Hey, bud, good to have you with us again. Who wants to bring up for a 500 for us? Let's see if we got it.
Perfect timing, Paul. Number 6. Lots of rest coming up.
Let me see if I can get some better music here. Okay, back into a rest period here. Well, the sun's just coming up here on the east coast of the US. It's going to be a fine one here, thank goodness. So get a bit of training in today, hopefully at some point. And yeah, it's close to 0 in my hometown measure, where we use Celsius in Australia. About 41.
That's completely foreign to me. So when you're going out for a run in that temperature, do you go out for runs in that temperature, or you just like?
Yeah.
Layer?
It's kind of interesting. Yeah, like, because I did 9 years before coming to the US in Hong Kong and Singapore and Thailand, and it's similar to, you know, Philippines in terms of weather.
So you're heat adapted.
So all of the running kit, it's just built for that weather. So when you get over here, you basically got to refresh your kit to go and run in that kind of weather. Dave Scott, he still swims outdoor during this kind of weather. It's obviously a heated pool, but he'll remind me multiple times of you know, whether I've been out swimming outside during the winter, but he does, no problem.
I see that in Dave's YouTube channel. The pool is steaming. It looks like
it's pretty cool, actually.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. It's winter's here, but that's okay. Paul Scottfield's actually cranking out some good wattage, even in the rest period here. He's feeling strong. It's probably pretty warm still down there in Florida. Let's see how Jan's doing down there in Singapore. You still with us there? Good to have you with us again, bud. What are we here? 2 minutes, folks, before we get back into the next set. And you see there's a few other folks here who were going to join us. Let's see if I can bring them up here. So hey, what's when you're doing a spin class, you guys introduced a lot of kind of standing, seated and standing kind of routines, right? That's pretty common in spin sessions, yeah?
Yeah, the spin session I teach is really a lot like the workouts that we're doing right now. So my goal for a session like this one, I would introduce out of the saddle work or in your aero bar work, stuff like that, really just for variety.
Right.
As long as you're getting you're within that target zone, you'll be getting the workout in.
Sure.
But
sure.
Just for that fitness benefit, or just for some variety, shake things up, or some people just aren't used to being in the saddle for that long.
Well, it's funny because Lionel Sanders was talking about his 1 hour record that he just set the other week, 51 kilometers.
That was amazing.
And he was saying that he's never been so sore getting off the bike because, you know, he did that on a velodrome, and you know, he was just in that identical position for the whole hour, and he just said even if you slightly moved your head, it can like throw you off, and like every 4 seconds he's into a corner. So he was just like fixed in that position for the whole hour, and yeah, he said it was really tough. So good training. Well, hey, folks, we're 3 seconds away here from ramping it up, and here it is now. Rep number 1.
Set number 4. Rep number 1.
Set number 4, rep number 1. You got it.
And then, did you see the chain ring on Lionel's bike? Is that a 60 something, sir?
That's big. All right, you can bring that back down, folks. That's 1 down, back to go. Yeah, and Sam Long was talking about his Florida race the other weekend, and yeah, similar. Going into that, he was talking a lot about just how much time he was spending in training in the TT position just to get, you know, race ready, and spending 4 hours at a time in the TT position. It's real training. All right, folks. Here we go. Rep number 2. Yeah, so yesterday, folks, we launched our Monday Mindshare blog. We send this out every week or two, and I'll bring that up in a second. We're going to ramp it up now, back into the 3rd rep. Paul, you got a 500 for us there. You're pretty close there, bud. I think you're coming into it now. All right, back into a rest there, folks. You a coffee drinker, Raymond?
Yeah. Every morning, big in the espresso. and the drips. And
you go.
I think I have every coffee gadget downstairs.
Nothing like the aroma of coffee. Okay, folks, we're into rep number 4 here. We'll get that moving now. So yeah, our latest Monday Mindshare out there now. We talk a lot about coffee and cacao and just some of the attributes and compounds in it that's really triggering fat oxidation at rest, and just how to take it to maximize the stimulatory effect. And it's not really caffeine for both coffee or cacao. It does contribute to it. Both of them certainly affect the central nervous system. Okay, rep number 5, folks. But there's really other compounds that are responsible for what it's doing, both for lipolysis in the front end of the fat oxidation chain, and then also for ultimately oxidation in the mitochondria. And you can check all that out. All the science is in that article, and particularly how to optimize your coffee and your chocolate or your cacao. It's a bunch of recommendations down the bottom here that you can check out. Okay, we're back into a rest there, folks. I guess your mouth's watering while I'm showing you these photos here of nice coffee on screen. So how about I get back to the to the session. Anyway, it's up there, folks. Take a look. It's been pretty popular since coming up yesterday, and you can check the article out in your own time. All right, we're jumping in here to 6th rep, folks. So I think I have Paul Scottford up on the screen. I do. So Paul, if you're feeling up for it, I'm not sure if you're got the. I think you do. And if you want to poke out a 500 for us, buddy, I've got the bell here ready to crank. He's at 370s. Let's see if he's thinking about bringing it up to a 500. Okay, we're back into a rest, folks. This will be a full 4.5 minutes rest before we get into the next session. What's typical coffee? I know in Vietnam, in your part of the world, they have a very specific way to filter their coffee, Raymond. What about in Philippines? It's pretty standard, or you do anything particular with coffee?
The way they do coffee here is pretty standard.
Right.
But they the bean that's pretty much most popular is something that they call Barako, or the rest of the world, I think it's called Excelsa.
Huh.
So it's a little more floral, a little more bitter, and they like that deep chocolate flavor.
Pretty dense. Yeah.
Yeah, really dense.
Just what
But
you
it's a good
need after a
sludge.
session like
It's a good
this, huh?
sludge.
Yeah. Well, I know Indonesia, again, in your part of the world, is producing some great coffee for the world. Yeah.
So it's just a few countries here in Southeast Asia that they
Right.
can make all three of the commercial beans.
Right. Huh. Well, good. I'll try to bring up, I think we got Dan Wilson here with us. So Dan had an awesome race in Florida. I think I talked a little bit about some of his results in the last sunrise session, but great to have you with us, buddy, and good to see you training again so quickly after full Ironman, bud.
It's like no fatigue in Dan's legs. Look at him go.
Look at that. It looks great in Swift. Anyway, and I'm not sure if Dan's got any more races. He might chat with us on YouTube chat. We might actually get him onto one of the live streams here soon, and he can talk a little bit about his Ironman Florida race and give us a little bit more detail about how it was. and we'll try to set that up with Dan. Yeah, he's saying he's doing a lot of slow runs, means less fatigue. He's just throwing that into YouTube chat. We're about 2 minutes out, folks, from getting going on this next set, and we'll keep churning it out.
So the article we were just looking at, does it recommend mixing the cacao with the coffee?
Yeah, there's no problem with that. One of the things we talk about in the article, two things, the specific compounds in both coffee and cacao. For coffee, it's the cholinergic acids. That's what's really responsible for triggering and up-leveling the lipolysis, the breakdown of fatty tissue and release of that into the blood supply. And then in the cacao, it's actually a different compound. It's one of the flavonoids, and that's what's doing the same for cacao. Taking it together is no problem. It's the two things that will stop it. That's lipolysis, I mean. One is in those flavonoids, if you take a dairy protein with that, like milk, it will bind to a lot of those flavonoids, and you just won't get as many coming into the system. And then, obviously, if you're taking a bunch of sugar with that, whether it's just high sugar chocolate,
that's going to counter the lipolysis.
Yeah, then it'll kill it. Basically, because they're triggering
insulin
the
shot there.
So, I think if you take like a 70% plus chocolate, and then if you take your coffee straight, and if you want a dairy, like a cream aspect, just use full cream and SFuels Life, and that's fine. So that's a way to do that. All right, folks, we're 5 seconds away, and we're going to ramp this back up here. Here we go for rep number 1.
Let's ramp that power up.
Nice wattage there, Dan. Okay, we can bring that back down, folks. So Dan's telling us on YouTube chat here, he's got no planned races until Ironman Texas in April. So he's got a bit of an off season, but he said he's getting started again in January to start ramping up the mileage again. Okay, folks, let's bring it back up. Rep number 2. Jump down to Singapore here. Jan's still with us. I actually sent out that article on our email EDM yesterday, and Jan had to tell us that I got my links wrong, so he helped us correct that. Thanks for helping us on that, buddy. Okay, rep number 3, folks. Nice wattage there, Tony. Think you got the 500 for us, bud?
Oh, here he comes. Nice one.
Nice work, buddy. Good job. Zwift doesn't know whether you're meant to be in the seat or out of the seat. But, all right, we're back into a rest period here, folks, but we're about to ramp it back up. Come around quickly. Here it is now, rep number 4. Alright, you can bring that back off here, quick rest. So yeah, we got a bunch of sessions coming up in the stadium, folks. This weekend we got Zach Bitter in the stadium with us, running us through some VO2 run sessions, so that'll be interesting. And back into some 10K sessions also soon. But I think there's probably another 6 or 7 sessions before we break it down before Christmas. Alright folks, we're into rep number 5. Yeah, it will be interesting on Saturday just to hear about Zach taking us through his VO2Max sessions on the treadmill, but you won't have to just do it on the treadmill. If you want to do it outside and join in through the iPhone app, you can do that. I'll talk to you about that in the 4-minute rest. It's after this rep, folks. This is rep number 6. Let's bring it back up. Rest period here, and I think we're actually 5 sets down, right, Raymond? Cool. So yeah, from this Saturday, folks, we're going to introduce the first time to run a session that you can either tune in through YouTube stream like you are now and watch it indoors on a treadmill, or if you don't have access to a treadmill, as long as you got your phone on you and you've got some decent broadband connection, you can get out on the road and have the live stream of the stadium show beamed in through the SFuels Stadium app, and you can download that on the App Store for free. And what this allows you to do is essentially you can play the session and switch the phone off and put it in your pocket or your backpack or whatever it is, and keep going with it. Now, we're only obviously advising this for run sessions, not for biking. We'll make sure we make caveats on that one. Here's a small video, but give you a little idea of how that works.
Good morning, athletes, and welcome to the SFuels Stadium Sunrise Session. Please join me in welcoming our host for this morning session, Leighton Phillips.
So you can see we turn it off there. Stream keeps running. You can just store your phone away and stay with the session. So looking forward to that. And Zach's session, it's certainly going to be another high intensity session, folks, for running. But yeah, you can jump out on the road and stick with us in the stadium. So looking forward to getting started on that on Saturday. And that's really the beginning of us beginning to introduce the stadium concept to brick sessions, where we plan to have both bike and run sessions back to back. And for those who have got a bike and a treadmill indoors, obviously you can just stay tuned in with YouTube Live. And if you've just got the trainer, you can do the bike session indoors and then take your phone and jump outside and continue the break outdoors. So we're working with Dave Scott and Lewis Ryan on pulling that together, and hopefully we'll get first go at one of those in November or December. So it's up on the SFuels Stadium website schedule. Check it out there, and be great to have some of you folks there with us. We're about a minute and a half away, folks, from getting into our sixth and final set. Thanks for bringing the passion to the stadium session. Raymond, how you feeling there?
Feeling pretty good. I think I got another 6 reps in me.
Another 6 reps or another 6 sets? Sorry, I just didn't quite hear that. What'd you say?
No, just reps, just reps.
Cool. All right, folks, we're a minute to go here. This is getting to the pointy end of the session, and we're going to finish this strong as we get into the final set. I think we're on board still with Dan Wilson, and he's staying with us till the end of this session today. Love to see all the active texting going on YouTube chat. This is a real chatty group this morning. Great to see that. Either you need to ramp up the speed a little more, or I don't know, maybe I got to make this talk to Dan to make this a bit of a tougher session or something.
The trick to doing that is you have a wireless keyboard. And then it's right there. You can just reach.
I think it's Alexa. I think we got to introduce Alexa to it so we can just talk to it, you know? All right, we're 5 seconds, folks. Let's get ready. Here it is now, rep number 1.
Show you a place to me. I'll show you all of me. If you're loyal, girl, you inspire me to be royal. You ain't got a trip, we good in Diego. So whatever I say, it's a go. 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 Whatever I say, whatever I say, it's a go. Whatever I say, it's a go. Whatever I say, it's a go. Whatever I say.
Gonna jump on board here with
it's a go, girl. I mean, you can get away. You the home girl, but I'm trying to make you bang.
Might see if Jan's got some interest in sometime streaming in live from Singapore. That'd be kind of fun. Jan's one of the coaches down there in Singapore, so it'd be great to have a talk to him sometime. All right, folks, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's jump into it. This is rep number 2.
Yeah, cause if you got my back, then I'ma lead the way. So whatever I say, it's a go. 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 Whatever I say, whatever I say, it's a go. Whatever I say, it's a go. Whatever I say, it's a go. Whatever I say.
I'm bored here with Tony. Tony was having a few broadband issues, we were saying earlier, so obviously still with us here now. Tony, let us know on YouTube chat where you're based at the moment. You're in California or Kentucky, or where you at? Good to know where you're at, bud. All right, here's the rest. They come around quick. Let's jump it back up, folks. Rep number 3. I'm going to get some consulting from Raymond on better music. Apparently there's a good way to do this music and I haven't worked it out yet, so he's going to educate me on that.
We'll figure it out without any copyright issues. We'll find some good music we can stream for free.
All right, rest period, folks. All right, Ray, we got you up on screen, bud. Let's jump into it. This is rep number 4. We can bring that back. All right, this is getting to the tough part, folks. Let's finish this strong and make Thursday count. Thanks for making it sweat hard in the stadium this morning. It's been a big session. I hope this wakes you up for your Tuesday, sorry. I'm ahead of it. Let me see here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. I think this is rep number 5.
I find it hard for me to see the sign that one day we could cut all of our time.
Nice wattage there, Dan. Keep going, buddy. Love it. No 500 watt? What do you think?
You make it feel so simple.
Oh! There we go.
Every time we did.
All right, the final rest period, and then we got one more to perk out. Let's see how we can finish this today. We're gonna bring it back to you, Raymond. Let me put you up on screen here. Here it is, folks, the 6th and final rep of the day.
You start to bend. Make it feel so simple.
Here it comes. Feeling good. Wow. That's strong. All right, folks, we can bring that back. What an awesome session today. Thanks for bringing the passion in. That was certainly high intensity, to say the least. We're going to jump across now into the warm down kitchen, and hopefully you guys have got some coffee nearby or some SFuels Revival nearby to start getting your legs back and getting your breath back. But thanks for joining us today. It was an awesome session. And any folks on the call today, on the session today, who hasn't tried SFuels, in the lower left there's a QR code. You can shoot your camera at that and take a look at one of the low-cost packs of a bunch of the products to try and test and give you a sense for SFuels. And as I said, folks, this Saturday back in the stadium with Zach Bitter running, and if you'd like to join us, you're all most welcome. You can do it inside or outside with the stadium app. Please download that free on the App Store and tune in on Saturday. I know it will be early for you folks there in Asia. Trying to get a time in the day that works for everyone around the world is pretty tough, actually. If you can take some shots there in Zwift and then whack a few stickers on, just type in SFuels on Instagram or Facebook and you'll see all the stickers come up, and throw a sticker on your shot and get it out on social. That'll be awesome. Have an awesome day, folks. Wishing all you best. Stay well. Be healthy. Raymond, how you feeling there, buddy? Feeling good? That's good. You want another set?
Good. It's dinner time here.
Well, hey, buddy, thanks so much for joining us, and I hope you keep safe, and I hope the weather's doing the right thing for you there in the Philippines, and let's keep talking. Great to have you in the stadium. We're sure to do it again. Be well. Thanks, everyone. Have fun. Be good.
Champion Dave Scott and Dr. Dan Plews. The SFuels and Endure IQ Spring 2020 Quick Start Guide is out now. It's packed with info, charts, and tools to rapidly transition your endurance training and racing to your best results yet. Download yours today and raise your performance with SFuels. Tips from Ironman World Champion Dave